Hi-Fi Rush, by basically all accounts, was a high point for 2023 in gaming. A fun and fantastically presented game that put gameplay first in every capacity, something that was really refreshing to see from a highly marketed console exclusive. And naturally, more people getting to play this game is always going to be a good thing, because art should never be arbitrarily restricted to certain pieces of hardware. It's bad for the art, it's bad for the preservation of that art, and it's incredibly bad for the consumer because it influences a hardware purchase without actually being emblematic of what that hardware's quality is. More games going to more platforms is always going to be a good thing, and when Hi-Fi Rush launched on PS5 the other day, it shouldn't have surprised anyone that the PS5 version was getting great reviews from critics. Hey Siri, play No Surprise by Daughtry. Now, something I want to lay out right out of the gate, because it's a very important and very simple explanation for basically every angry fanboy we're going to be responding to in this video. Hi-Fi Rush getting a higher Metacritic score on the PS5 can be very easily explained by two simple things that have nothing to do with whether or not the game is actually better on the PS5. Firstly, Hi-Fi Rush has been getting basically universal continued praise for the last year or so obviously new reviews of the game are naturally going to be going into things with a more positive mindset than before. And secondly, the PS5 Metascore is currently only using 8 scores for its average. So obviously, the overall critic Metascore is going to be more easily influenced on the PS5 than it would be on the Xbox, which has 56 reviews, or the PC, which has 35. There's no secret extra special sauce that Sony shoved into the PS5 version to make it some glorious master version of the game. But can you guess what the PlayStation diehards were saying about this Metascore anyways? Based on my tone, dear viewer, can you guess what they were saying about the PS5 version of Hi-Fi Rush? It really doesn't shock me that the same crowd that was dismissing Hi-Fi Rush for the entirety of last year because it was funded by Microsoft, those are now the same people who are bragging about Hi-Fi Rush getting a slightly higher Metascore than the other versions. You know, the other versions of the game that have been out longer and reviewed much more plentifully. But it's not like the PlayStation diehards have anything else to talk about right now, so you better believe it, buddy. The PlayStation dudes are now using an Xbox game as a dunking point on the Xbox. They're bragging about the goodness of an Xbox game to prove that PlayStation is better instead of just playing the game. God, you people never stop. You people never stop. I'm never running out of content. I'm totally fine with this. So this first batch of screenshots is going to be from people directly replying to this Metacritic announcement on Twitter, because apparently the news of the PS5 Metacritic score for Hi-Fi Rush is just that's where the console war is now. Vrin replies, of course Xbox fans get shafted and PS5 gets the best version, double laughing crying face. Ah yes, the PS5 version is the best version. Never mind frame rates or resolution options. Never mind controller options, never mind modding capabilities. The PS5 version of Hi-Fi Rush is the best version because 8 random people on Metacritic said so. Aren't meta scores fun? Isn't it so great to take them absolutely literally all the time? Failed Pyromancer replies with a gif of the PlayStation 5 controller advertisement, and he says, "Game perfected." That's right, kiddos, if you prefer something other than the PlayStation controller, you aren't getting a perfect experience. If you prefer using something else, you really aren't getting perfect gameplay now, are you big old dork? At Failed Pyro thinks the PlayStation controller is the best controller, therefore, it's impossible to get perfect gameplay anywhere else, and also therefore, PlayStation is better than everyone else that could possibly offer you anything. All because you like the PlayStation controller. This is fun, isn't it? Fly replies and says literally the same game, Lamau. And then the Chilling Reptilian replies, and updated graphics since then. Oh yeah, same game. Bro, you don't want to bring up visuals as a reason for the PS5 version being the best version. Like, sincerely, you're a resident PC gamer. You don't want to do that, home skillet. Japan Hates Xbox attaches a cartoon of an Xbox fan pissing themselves and an edit of the Hi-Fi Rush guy, whose name I forget, flipping off the camera. And then he says, "Welcome home at Hi-Fi Rush." The stupid edit here of people pointing and laughing at the Xbox guy. Like, this one really makes me chuckle. You're all pointing and laughing at the Xbox guy because Xbox is getting money from you. Xbox is making money off of people that were never going to buy their consoles in the first place. You. They're making money off of you. And you're pointing and laughing at them. You're laughing at them while giving them your money, when you were never going to give them your money before. They got you to give them your money, and you think that's a mark against them. I think you might be stupid. Holy Flare says, DualSense, this game is made for PS5, been in development for 5 years. Yeah, I gotta say, it's really weird how much stock you guys put into the fucking DualSense controller. It genuinely, it's weird how much you guys care about this controller, especially since it's not even exclusive to PlayStation anymore. Like, PC dudes can use this controller too. It's just a wacky thing to use as a giant point of praise or comparison, because if this is genuinely how you look at things, that means through your eyes, PS5 versions of games inherently get bonus points in reviews because you have a controller preference, and you see nothing wrong with that. You've entered goofball territory, bud. I would like it if you reversed. GKY says eventually Microsoft will see no reason to make another console. Unlike Xbox gamers, PlayStation gamers add value to Xbox developed games. So, PlayStation gamers add value to Xbox games, but Xbox gamers do not. So Xbox gamers, the people who supported Hi-Fi Rush and got it all the praise and publicity in the first place, Xbox and PC players, those are the people who made the game look good enough for there to be demand for it on the PlayStation. Those gamers, to you, don't add value to the game. But you, the PlayStation gamer, do add value to the game because you bought the version of the game that was only possible because Xbox and PC players added value to it before you could have. Gotcha. @CriticPerfect quote tweets the Metacritic news and just says Xbots. Damn Xbots and their checks notes. PS5 ports of Xbox games. What? Okay, a new thread here. This one started from @NextGenPlayer, who says Hi-Fi Rush PS5 Metacritic score is... Whoa. Blah, blah, blah. Hi-Fi Rush PS5 Metacritic score is at... Jesus Christ! Hi-Fi Rush PS5 Metacritic is at 91% with 8 reviews in Eyeball Fire. Already rated higher than the Xbox and PC versions, but let's see if it stays that way after more reviews roll in. And then they get a response from someone named @It'sWelshie89 who says, it would be absolutely hilarious if the fanboys started to cannibalize their own games and people got outed for rating the PS5 version while rating the Xbox version 10. Anything to make your plastic box of choice look better so you can sleep at night laughing and crying emoji. What? @WeGamingShort says Hi-Fi Rush PS5 Metacritic score is at 91%. Reviewers clearly have issues with Xbox laughing, crying. Or we can just take a look at this screenshot that you provided and see that the Xbox version has exactly 9 times more reviews than the PlayStation version. You can also see that the fewer reviews there are for a platform, the higher the average score tends to be, because a 9.5 out of 10 has a much bigger impact on the average when there aren't as many 8s, which were outlier scores to begin with, so they're less likely to show up in a smaller review pool. And you have the added factor that this game was going to get higher scores right out of the gate this time because of all the praise it's been receiving for the last 12 months. This is not deep. This screenshot that you attached is emblematic of literally nothing of importance, but you attached it anyways. Be less goofy. Another one from Japan Hates Xbox. He says 91 on Metacritic. PS5 exclusive Hi-Fi Rush Real Gamers Edition is the best way to experience this game. Then he gets a response saying, this is you, right? Of a tweet from him back in December when he said, the best part about Hi-Fi Rush is turning it off. Awful game. I see why so many Xbox players ditched it so fast. I believe this is what the kids call getting caught in 4K. And we'll conclude with this tweet from PlayStation Universe, who says Hi-Fi Rush PS5 is currently sitting at 91 on Metacritic as the highest rated version of the game. And I can't wait to see you PlayStation dudes keep this same energy when all the other first-party Xbox games start dropping on PlayStation. I can't wait to see you guys continue to backtrack and admit that you actually did like these games that you called shit for no reason other than the logo on the box. And I also cannot wait for you guys to inevitably use the lack of reviewers on Metacritic as justification to write off future multi-platform games that score higher on the Xbox than the PlayStation. I made a whole video about you guys doing that when Street Fighter 6 came out. Go watch that video. I think it was funny. But like, you know that the same people using a small sample size for PlayStation reviews as as justification for this being the best version of the game, you know the people doing that are the exact same people who would dismiss Xbox fans for doing the same thing if an Xbox version of a multi-plat game got a higher Metascore with fewer reviews than the PS5 version. Everyone still watching this video knows that the rollover between those two groups of people is basically 100%. Look, you would think that I'm tired of stuff like this by now, but I'm really not. I think this stuff is wonderful. I love that we can all have something that connects us, be us PC gamers outside the console war, or console players wanting to laugh at how absurd these things get for such petty reasons. I'm not trying to tell you that your opinions are stupid, or that you are stupid if you play on console, but we should all be in agreement that stuff like this is objectively funny, no matter where on the console war playing field you sit. Hi-Fi Rush is a game worth playing, and shouldn't that be where the conversation ends? Just play the damn game. Toodles.